News, I'm Raj Mathai.
And I'm Jessica Aguirre. We're on primetime following this much-anticipated debate between Vice President Harris and former President Trump. Both candidates sparring hard tonight. It started with an awkward handshake. This is actually the first two candidates have ever met in person. Harris introducing herself to the former president. Debate went a little bit over 90 minutes, both candidates going after each other's records.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century. Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. And what we have done is clean up Donald Trump's mess.
She's worse than Biden. In my opinion, I think he's the worst president in the history of our country. She goes down as the worst vice president in the history of our country. But let me tell you something. She is a horrible negotiator. They sent her in to negotiate. As soon as they left, Putin did the invasion.
Bold statements on both sides. Mr. Trump was talking about Russia's invasion on Ukraine. The candidates also touching on immigration, January 6th, the Israel-Hamas war, the climate, and abortion.
But her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine. He also says execution after birth. It's execution, no longer abortion, because the baby is born, is okay. And that's not okay with me, hence the vote. But what I did is something for 52 years. They've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states.
You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't want that.
We have live team coverage of this debate and how it might impact the election. Our political analysts are standing by, but we begin with our local watch parties for the Dems and the Republicans. NBC's Jodi Hernandez is in the city at the Democratic Watch Party. Jodi.
That's right. Dozens gathered here at the Halfway Club in San Francisco. They tell me that Vice President Kamala Harris did precisely what she needed to do tonight.
She's very studied, she's smart, she loves to laugh, she loves to have fun, she loves to cook, and she's a great friend.
Carol Porter has known Vice President Kamala Harris since she was 6 years old. Tonight, after her childhood friend went toe-to-toe with former President Donald Trump, she hopes the rest of America has a better idea of what Harris can do for the country.
I hope they really understand who she is, and they feel who she is, and they feel the authenticity of who she is, and what her plans are for the United States of America and for the people that she wants to continue to lift up.
While Porter watched the debate at home with fellow Berkeley friends, other Bay Area Democrats gathered at public watch parties like this one in San Francisco, where voters repeatedly gasped and laughed at Donald Trump's statements.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
These debate watchers say tonight reinforced they're behind the right candidate.
Strength is not in beating people down, it's in lifting people up.
I'm really newly inspired by Kamala Harris and her ability to lead us into a new place.
I feel like I'm watching a competent adult explain policy calmly and a toddler throw a tantrum.
Democratic debate watchers tell me they feel more hopeful than ever about this election. Her childhood friend texted me just a short time ago. She nailed it, she says, handled the business for the American people. Reporting live in San Francisco, I'm Jodi Hernandez, NBC Bay Area News.
Okay, thank you very much, Jodi. Let's go to the other side of the aisle. Damian Trujillo also in San Francisco at a Republican watch party. Damian, I know they came out in great numbers there. How do they think that their candidate fared, and do they acknowledge that Kamala Harris may have gotten under his skin?
Well, you can imagine how they're feeling tonight. I think they won here, Jessica. They haven't left. And what a place to hold the Republican Watch Party here in San Francisco. The San Francisco Republican Party showed up in numbers and made their support for the former president clear. Republicans wanted to make sure everyone knows there's two major parties in San Francisco, and local GOP leaders say the Republican Party is getting stronger in the city.
It's small but growing, and we had a decline in registration for decades, many decades, 6 decades. But about 5 years ago, we stopped that, and we've actually grown 20%.
Tonight, it was about their push to send Donald Trump back to the White House.
Very exciting. We're going to witness history.
How's that?
Trump is going to destroy Kamala Harris in the debate, and then he's going to win the election and make America great again.
It depends on which way you want to take the country. Generally speaking, I obviously wouldn't be here if I didn't agree with the policies. I think we've seen the policies of the prior administration, and it hasn't exactly been the best.
Throughout the debate, San Francisco Republicans cheered their candidate and jeered his opponent. Party faithful here say they know many feel California is a lock for the Democrats, but they vow to do all they can to change that perception between now and November.
We have folks all over the Bay Area who are sending, they're working for their local candidates and local ballot measures and state ballot measures. We have a very busy November from the municipal to the county to the state level to the federal level. We have folks around the Bay Area who are helping in swing states.
It's 55 days until Election Day, and these folks say they're pushing to send the former president back to the White House. And after the debate, you started hearing the chants here that it's all about USA, USA, USA. So in their eyes, Jessica and Raj, this was a Trump win tonight. Back to you.
Damian, thank you.